friends, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Fort Worth Roots. You can find Fort Worth Roots on all of your favorite streaming services, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, and many more. If you want to get it before everybody else, the regular episodes like this one that we do weekly out at McFlys now, you can get those, plus our morning show episodes that happen Monday through Thursday and release at 8 a.m. across all the platforms. But you can get it first at fortworthroots.com. And take a look at it now because it's not going to be there long. That's right, folks. fortworthroots.com is going away forever. No, it's coming back like a phoenix from the ashes. Purple Web Consulting is redesigning the website, so I want you to see how bad it looks now so you can appreciate how good it looks later. Purple Web Consulting, website design and hosting, e-commerce integration, digital strategy and consulting. Find them online at www.purplewebconsulting.com. Our newest sponsor for the Fort Worth Roots podcast and our upcoming music series. If you guys don't know about that, we do it every year. It's happening from March into October. We're going to put 3 bands on a different stage all around Fort Worth. We're still working on those stages, believe it or not. We're down to the wire. We thought we had the venues, and we do not. So we do have a few lined up right now, but we are looking for more. So if you got an idea, if you can put us in touch with somebody, or if you're a business owner and you got a stage, we'd love to talk to you. This episode today is the second of our McFlys live audience recordings. We're going to do these every Tuesday, and I would love to have you out there. We've got a microphone set up for the audience so that you guys can get involved. Next week is going to be with Kendi Jean, a local female artist that is just absolutely killing it out there. You might recognize that name from seeing her on a bill somewhere, or you might recognize the name from seeing her on the cover of Fort Worth Weekly just a few editions ago. So anyway, it's going to be cool. You're all welcome. Starts at 5, goes till 7, and then when we get done recording and listening to Kendi play a little bit, Tommy, Luke, and Dippy Dog will be on stage for the open mic night. So Tuesdays at McFlys. That's what's on the ticket. And shout out to Italianos. We got 8 ginormous pizzas yesterday for this thing, and everybody seemed to really like the pizza. I need you guys to message me, email me, something. Let me know if you really enjoyed the idea of doing these Tuesday events with free pizza. Everybody, we had 8 enormous pizzas, and I think we only had 1.5 left at the end of the night. And I'd like to have a little more than not enough, so that's good in my opinion. Thank you to Italianos. They cut us a really good deal on those pizzas because I told them what we were doing with it, and I said, hey, we'll give you a shout out on the show, and they liked that idea. So it's a family-owned restaurant over there in River Oaks, and they are located at 5442 River Oaks Boulevard. Got to speak with the owner, Arsim, and really nice folks and excellent pizza, so check them out. What else? I think that's all we need to talk about up front. Please stay tuned to the very end of this episode where we talk about all of our sponsors and upcoming events. I think you probably heard the paper unfolding there. I made these really terrible brochures at Staples. Don't shop at Staples. Use Vistaprint or something, anything else but Staples. The Davis team showed up at McFlys for this recording. We got Jordan Davis, who has been a real estate agent here in our area for a very long time, and she's very good at her job. And she has sold 2 homes for me personally at 2 totally different markets in 2 totally different areas of DFW. And we're going to get into that during this recording, but it's not about houses so much as it is just getting to talk to somebody that's been in the peripheral of my life for a very long time and just great people. We talk about our Thanksgiving food drive that we did. I say we like I had anything to do with it. I helped deliver 6 meals. That was my contribution. But they do this, and it's getting bigger every year, and they just recently started up a 501c so that they can provide more meals to more DFW families. Anyway, we get the audience involved in this recording like we're going to do every week, and I really appreciate everybody that came out, and I feel like this was such a solid episode, so thank you guys. And please, for you guys listening at home or on your way to work, check out our sponsors. These guys are making it possible for us to do this thing and put on the live music series. We're going to tell you more about that at the end of the show. Again, thank you guys for being here. Give it up for Jordan Davis, and let's get it going. Let's start the show. right, folks, thank you for joining us for our second Tuesday episode out here at McFlys Pub. We've got Jordan Davis and the entire Jordan Davis team here. Can I get a big woo from the Davis team? Excellent. Thank y'all so much for being here. Hi, Jordan.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. We got Italiano's pizza for everybody tonight. They cut us a sweet deal.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I was going to go with a hot and ready, and I was actually talking to the mayor of River Oaks, and he was like, don't you dare. You need to go to a River Oaks establishment. How about Italiano? So he called over there, and he said, this is the mayor of River Oaks, and I need you to cut Fort Worth Roots a really good deal on pizza. And they did. They hooked us up.
Our resident Italian on the team gave it a 7.6, and I've never heard him rate above an 8. So
really?
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in tens. So
have you ever given anything over a 7.6, or just Jordan has never heard of it? It's got to be in New York or New Jersey. All right.
Can't do that in Texas.
All
right.
Well, thank you. You've been a sponsor of the show for half a year now.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we've had you on the show. You're a busy person.
It's not that I'm avoiding you.
You promise.
I love you. Even though you didn't hire me the first time you met me.
Okay, we're going to go into that story again. So do you want to tell it, or should I get us started?
I mean, you could start us out.
Okay, so here's how it really went down. Whatever Jordan says is only half true, I'm sure. So we were getting ready to sell a home, and we, like everybody does, you just start looking around, and anytime you enter your email or your phone number, whether they get to you now or later, you're on their list.
We're going to call.
You're going to get,
yeah.
So it turned out we ended up getting a dozen calls or something. Well, in the middle of all this, while I'm trying to do my due diligence and find the right agent, the girlfriend had a friend of a friend of a friend who was an agent, of course, and she said, well, we're going with my person, who really wasn't even her person. So the house sat on the market for 120 days or more. And finally, I said, I'm going to go to this lady's office, and I'm going to check out the operation and see what's really going on. And I got there, and it was a little office inside of a shopping center in Hudson Oaks.
Oh, wow.
And I walked in there, and it was just absolute mayhem. I couldn't believe that any business was operating in the space. She wasn't there, even though I had scheduled an appointment to talk to her.
Wow.
So I walked out, and I'm like, all right, that's it. So
what I hear you saying is, in a weak moment, you chose a weak agent.
I did what I was told.
So we got rid of the girlfriend. That's the moral of the story.
So we got rid of the girlfriend, and I called Jordan, and Jordan had the house sold within.
What did you say though to my inside sales agent? You said, "I'm looking for a fire pistol or something." This blonde girl showed up at my house.
I couldn't remember your name. But I had your contact information. Somebody picked up the phone, and he's like, well, who were you talking to? Like, what was your agent? And I was like, I don't know. Blonde hair, really feisty, a little bit mean. He's like, you're talking about Jordan. I was like, yeah, that's the one. So anyway, 2-3 weeks later, you had it. I mean, we had several offers, and it was just night and day difference. And so
6 years ago.
It was a while back.
Yeah.
And that was a house in kind of not way north Fort Worth, Bailey Boswell and Boat Club.
Yep.
Is the big cross streets. But then fast forward, 6 years later, it's time to sell another home.
Yep.
This time from Weatherford. So 2 totally different markets, 2 totally different areas, but the exact same result. Mm-hmm. You guys know what you're doing.
And a good relationship all along the way,
yes.
which I love.
And good enough that you conned me into loading a Toyota Camry, an 03 Toyota Camry, full of turkeys and cranberries
That's
for
right.
Thanksgiving.
You came for our charity, yeah.
That was really awesome. And people's faces were just lighting up from, it's not something that happens every day. What you guys do with the Davis team, things like that, that's not common. So you guys deserve to be patted on the back, congratulated, thanked. It's really special what you did. It was 200 families, right?
200 families. So this week we established our 501c3. So now any kind of donations are charitable and tax write-offs, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's going to help us in raising funds. But essentially 4 years ago, I sat with a guy who talked about how he lived out of his truck with a family of 5.
Damn.
And they slept in the truck, everything. And he was the oldest, the only one that was school age. And he would go to school, and he got school breakfast, he qualified, and school lunch. So he would eat breakfast there, but he would save his lunch, and he would take it home, and he would feed his siblings.
Damn.
And he talked about Thanksgiving, that they don't get support for holidays with the school programs. And so he would spend the whole week coloring and describing and talking about food that his belly would long for on Thanksgiving Day. And it broke me.
Yeah.
I cried in a room full of people hysterically. Went home, contacted my son's teacher, and I said, hey, I know we live in a kind of country area. You've got $1 million mansions, and you've got, some double wides. Like, do we have kids who get school support for meals? And they identified 8. And so we fed 8 families Thanksgiving. So we did all the grocery shopping, delivered to the school, and then the schools delivered to the families.
What year was this?
So that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And that year we fed 8 families, and I set a vision that in 10 years we would feed 800. And I thought I was a little crazy to set that vision.
Yeah.
And the next year we fed 24. And the next year we fed 100. And this year, with huge help from the team, especially that one right there, Lupe, we fed 200 families. And that's what you came and helped volunteer for. We've set a goal of feeding 500 this year. And that'll be year 5. So 5 years, 500 families.
Now, does your 501c feed directly into that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there somewhere that people listening right now can go to? I know are you collecting funds currently for that?
So right now we have like our Zelle, which is Thanksgiving Drive at yourdavisteam.com.
Okay.
And we'll get it hooked up through there and get a receipt that can be a tax write-off. Or you can email me at Jordan, Jordan, at yourdavisteam.com, yourdavisteam.com.
Awesome.
And we'll set that up. But it's like $40 to feed a family Thanksgiving. It's so much less than you would ever think.
Yeah. And these boxes were packed.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes, turkey, pie. What else do we have in there?
Yeah, green beans, cranberry sauce. Everybody loves cranberry sauce on Thanksgiving. And yeah, we actually give them a turkey to bake, like a 8-pound turkey to bake for Thanksgiving. So it's a real full-fledged Thanksgiving. Mac and cheese, even like Capri Suns for the kiddos.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pies, we don't shortchange.
Yeah.
And just trying to make a big impact. I think the community needs that, and we want to support the community that supports us.
Yeah. And I think that what you're doing is not just important to those families, it's important for other businesses to see what you're doing, because you can run your business and still help your community.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the big takeaway message, because that's what Fort Worth Roots wants to do. We want to continually find better ways to take care of the community, and so it's great to be partnered with somebody that's living the same dream.
There's a parable that basically says, when you have more than you need, build a longer table, not a higher fence.
Nice.
And so a place at the table is our 501c3's name. And I'm just super passionate about, to much is given, much is expected.
Yeah.
And I'm appreciative for the career we've had and the families we get to support. It means the world to me. And so I love to be able to give back to the community and support those families. It's pretty cool.
It's excellent. Well, so that's kind of the synopsis of what the Jordan team's been up to lately. We'll get into some real estate questions here in a minute. But tell us a little bit about Jordan. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Bethany, Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
Born and raised, yeah.
Population 5?
I don't know. It would surprise you.
A lot of tumbleweeds?
It's a little bit bigger than you think. But I spent a couple years going to a small Christian college and then transferred to Texas A&M. Whoop. Class of 07. So all my Aggies. Yep. And that's where I met my husband. We got married, lived in Houston, got transferred to Miami, and lived 3 years there, and then transferred back. And I was hell-bent on being a stay-at-home mom, so I did that for a year. And as my dad says, you're the least stay-at-home mom I've ever met. I was just always on the run, always on the go, packing that baby up, going where we could. And I just was not fulfilled, and I knew I needed more. And so at the time, my husband, Matt, said, you've sacrificed everything, gone to Miami, done everything it takes for my career. Let's take some time and figure out what you want to do. And I had somebody, so we still owned a house in Florida. My dad bought a investment property, and it was a secure investment because we were going to rent it for 3 to 5 years from him while the market in Florida picked up.
Nice.
And so we worked with a realtor that was terrible. And everybody either says I had a realtor that was so good they inspired me, or so bad I thought, well, I could do that. And so we had an awful realtor, and I thought, man, I could do that a lot better. So I stumbled into real estate, and loved it. Thought I just need to pay enough to pay my stepmom to be our nanny. And next thing I know, my phone's ringing, referrals, all of that. And everything's just rolling. And I started having people ask, can I be on your team? And I'm like, well, what's that? I don't want a team. I don't want to do this. But my first, probably 4 years in the business, I had so much business that I needed somebody administratively to help. My stepdad had just retired and was struggling with slowing down. And so I was able to give him a part-time job, and he just loved it. So he would start doing the transaction side, paperwork, et cetera. And he started asking, do you have any more business? Do you have any more business? And I found myself going out and looking for business to give him something to do. But I really feel like that's where my passion was born, to help others succeed, whether it's buying, selling, investing, or a career in real estate.
Yeah.
And so now we have 15 people, 15 families that we support. And I'm super crazy passionate about these people.
Yeah. I was commenting to somebody earlier, every single time I've been around your group of people, it's just like, I don't want to say something cliche, like you guys just seem like one big family, but you guys, you have like this camaraderie that I haven't seen probably since my last military unit after a deployment. Like you're really close. Like you're a tight knit group, and it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, and I had a lot of fear, that there would be fighting over leads or attention or this or that. But
sales, yeah.
I just feel like when you lead with love, like love shows up, right? Yeah. And so I hope they would say the same. Like I 1 year sold 60 homes in a year.
Damn.
Of the 180 that our team sold. Mm-hmm. And I did a majority of the production per agent. But last year I sold 16. Mm-hmm. Like I gave my transactions to the team. It was a really tough year in real estate. And, I know, like, for example, Rebecca recently had a $2.1 million buyer under contract that came in as a referral to me, that I partnered with Rebecca to do a great job. And quite frankly, they do a better job than me, And so,
in what way? What are your shortcomings?
I mean, it's been a long time since I've been in it on the day to day. I might forget to turn in your earnest money, or no. I just a lot of attention and time and nurturing. And one of the things about running the team is, like you said, you're a busy gal, right? And so I know that they have the time and attention to give clients everything that they need and show up and show homes. That's not to say that I'm not involved in every single day. Every low appraisal, every complicated inspection lands on my desk, and we go through it and work it out together. And so I'm able to help them and give advice and have my hand in the pot.
Yeah.
But I'm more about seeing them succeed and take care of their families, even if it means less for me, because I know eventually it's going to work itself out.
It was really fun to watch y'all's process too, because every time that I've worked with a different agent before meeting you guys, it was one person and they're taking care of everything up to closing.
Yeah.
Right? And with you guys, you and I, probably since I knew you from our previous cell, you were kind of the forward-facing agent for our cell. But whenever you needed to step away and go do something else, you had team members that were stepping in and taking care of everything else and doing a fantastic job because they were educated on what they needed to do.
Yep.
So the Davis team is what I talk about.
Yeah.
I don't talk so much about Jordan Davis. I talk about the team because you guys have a solid process.
Well, it's a corporate approach to real estate, and the idea that one person would set up showings and show homes and know everything about every community, know everything about every builder is not going to happen. The same person that would go get you to agree to list with them because they're going to be a bulldog that gets the home sold, who's also doing your paperwork on the back end. Like, there's bound to be an error because that requires a compliant person with a extrovert who will go get the job done. And those two don't often exist. And so all of the hats that an agent wears, I think, require you to have a team and operate within a team. I think the team would tell you that there's nobody more compliant than Leah on our team, who's going to be a bulldog for compliance and your paperwork and making sure it's done correctly. I mean, you don't want to move into your home and find out it's not in your correct name. That would be a disaster, right? But the same person who's friendly and meets you and holds open houses and talks to buyers is not going to be the same person that gets your paperwork correct.
Yeah.
So we take a corporate approach to real estate and realize that we can divide the roles and everybody do a much more effective job when we're together.
Yeah. I think we need to open up this next segment with a horror story. A really good one.
Oh.
And if you don't have a great one right offhand, maybe somebody on the Davis team can help us out. But something that you've seen in your time as an agent, something that you like telling people as far as a cautionary tale. You're laughing because you thought of something, didn't you?
I saw Brian's face. So Brian is our investor specialist, and he gets all of the people who want cash offers. So their homes are like dilapidated at this point. Brian, you want to come talk about
Brian.
some of the
We need you up here, man.
luxury
This
homes
this
you've
mic is
seen?
on. We're ready for it. Come on. Big round of applause for Brian.
Hello, everybody. So I do go to a lot of dilapidated houses, and this one was by far, it takes the cake. This lady didn't confirm her appointment. I was working on a flip at the time. And
That means flipping a house.
Yes,
he doesn't do backflips.
No.
He might.
I don't think so.
Not with that attitude.
So I'm working on this flip, and our inside sales agent, Valencia, I called her and I said, hey, have you heard from this seller for this listing appointment? It was supposed to be at like 5 o'clock in Fort Worth. Well, she didn't. I hadn't. I texted her, the seller, and I left a voicemail. Well, she never got back to me. At about 5:20, she finally calls Valencia and says, hey, are we still on for our appointment? And so Valencia is like calling me frantically. She's like, can you get over there? I was like, yeah, but it's not going to be till about 6. So anyway, she said that I called the seller. I said, hey, I can get there by 6. Is that okay? And she goes, well, yeah, I'm going to be taking a nap, though. And I go, okay, we can make it another day.
Because keep in mind, we go to people's homes.
Right.
There's a certain amount of awkward there.
So she said she's going to be taking a nap. And I said, okay, well, do you want to do this another day? And she said, no, it'd be fine. I'll leave the front door open. You could just come in and, I'll be in the back bedroom down the hall. And
This is starting to sound kind of suspicious.
And I'm like, is this like a booty call or something? Like, what's going
Something
on?
on,
And so
yeah.
I go, wait, hold on. Let me just get this right. So the front door will be open. I just walk in, down the hall. You're at the end of the last bedroom on the end of the hall. She goes, yeah. I go, okay, I'll see you about 6 o'clock. And I'm like, what am I getting myself into? So I get there. It's pitch black dark. It's in some, I forget what part of Fort Worth it was in. It was cold, it was dark, it was damp out, and then sure enough, the front door's open. So she got the big wrought iron.
Can you give us a value on the home?
Oh, God.
Ballpark it.
After repair value
After
or
repair,
before?
so we do an ARV. After repair value is maybe 300.
Oh, God, okay.
Current, that the state it was in, maybe 100.
Damn.
So the wrought iron door was there. I open it up. Then she got the other door. That opens inward. And I walk into trash. I have a video of it, actually.
Oh, my God.
There are trash bags from floor to ceiling. There's a hallway about not even a hallway, it's just a little walkway.
Like a makeshift walkway.
Makeshift walkway
around the
because
trash.
there's trash on the left, trash on the right, and about 2 feet to where you can walk. There's feces on the floor.
Oh,
you
Jesus.
can see that rats were gnawing at the bags of trash.
And there's a human sleeping there?
And so it gets worse. So
Oh, no.
I flip the switch, there's no electricity, at least in the front part of the house. I walk to the back, I can see some light, and I got my flashlight on. I'm actually taking a video, but I have the flashlight on. So I walk down the hallway, there's a bathroom on the left, it's got full of trash, so you can't use the bathroom. I keep going, and I'm like, hello, and she's like, I'm back here. I'm like, okay.
I'll be outside.
I'm like, I have no idea what to expect. I have zero clue she could have been naked, she could have been half dead, I don't know. I walk back there, and sure enough, I turned around and I go, hey. She's like, oh yeah, have a seat, I cleaned it off for you. It was what do you call those? Like a walker with a little seat?
A walker potty.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, that's what it was. I didn't want to put my backpack down. So I put it on my lap and I sit down. And she's sitting in a muumuu on a bed with puppy pads. And there was like feces on the puppy pads.
Under her.
Like she couldn't use the bathroom. She couldn't. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like talking to this lady. She was super sweet. I felt so bad for her. She's about in her 60s. I left and I called Jordan right away. Actually, I called you when I was taking a walk around the outside because she wanted me to look at the outside.
I have so many emotions right now.
Were you not crying?
I was pissed. I was pissed. I was sad. I was disgusted. There were so many. I told Jordan, I was like, I have like 6 emotions right now. She's like, get out of there. I said, okay. So I walk back in and I go, ma'am, I'm going to have to go. I don't think I can help you. And so she's like, oh, okay. And so I'm like, well, if you need anything else, maybe try and call.
Keep in mind, Brian works with investors, and you have to have electricity. You there are certain things that have to be set up. Yeah.
So needless to say, I got in the car and I drove my hour drive back home, and
What'd you do with your shoes?
Oh, I wanted to burn them.
God, man. I don't know that I can continue this podcast after that story.
That was the worst one. I've had other ones, but that was probably the worst one. So.
There was one time when we were told by a seller that the house was haunted.
And it was?
So I took Amanda. She's not here today, but I took Amanda because she's obsessed with ghost stories. And the people canceled on us, but rescheduled like 3 months later. And I don't know if they forgot about it in the meantime or whatever, but the lady's showing us the home, and we're in the living room, and all of a sudden a girl walks like behind us and goes into like another room or something. And we both look at each other and we're like, that's the ghost. So anyway, we go have a seat, and we're just both like, oh my gosh. And all of a sudden she comes back out, and the lady's like, oh, that's my daughter.
Shit. You guys are brave. Like Brian, I would have definitely bolted. And, seeing the undead, I don't think I'd have stuck around for that either.
Or signed up for it.
Yeah.
Like Amanda was like, I am in. I am going on this appointment with you.
I got one as a close second, but that's it. That's
Well, Brian, you can't. Quentin Tarantino's rule is you never show the gun unless you're going to use it in a film.
Well, Bart.
You can't tell us you got another story and not tell us.
No, it's not, that's the best one.
Bart, who's not here, he went in one time on a tenant. The owner was trying to sell the home, and I guess they'd had a party the night before, and the tenant was just buck naked after a party, hungover, passed out on the couch, but there was an empty pizza box. So he just took it, flipped it over, covered him up, and continued the showing. So, yeah, we see all kinds. So when I go to somebody's normal house and they're like, pardon the mess, I'm like, oh, you have no idea.
You're good. Yeah.
You have no idea what we can see.
I don't feel like I need a hazmat suit. We're okay. Yeah. All right. Does anybody else have a horror story they want to share with the group? This is therapy now. We're just doing therapy at this point. No? Okay. Getting a lot of blank stares there. Well, let's talk a little bit about the market. I felt like there might be some folks that would show up wanting to talk a little bit about what's going on inside the housing market. Is there anybody at the bar that is currently looking to make a move on some property, buy, sell, just have general questions about their real estate? Doesn't look like it. All right. So can we talk about the market? Because it's been, whenever Megan and I got ready to sell the last one, there was a point where we were super on the fence just because of the interest rates and the market. And we're looking at this and we're just like, this is a terrible time. And you didn't lie to us. You didn't try to persuade us.
Not great.
One way or the other. But you were like, there's been better times. But, we'll get it sold. This will be okay. We can work with this. And so we ended up going. And it turned out to be a great situation in the end. But it's scary whenever you're listening to people that have very little knowledge, but a lot of opinion. And that's what you hear first. And then you talk to an expert like Jordan or somebody else on the Davis team, and they tell you the facts.
Yeah.
So can we get into that and kind of what's going on with the market and what you kind of project over the next quarter?
Sure. So interest rates as of yesterday were 7.2%, according to one of our lenders, Envoy Mortgage. And that's important to note that the 10-year average for interest rates is 6%. So we're not crazy higher than that.
Yeah.
And there's such thing as a rate buy down that can get you to the 6%. And we actually saw 6.4 last year.
Yeah.
So it did pop down a little bit. And I anticipate after inauguration and things settle down a little bit, we're going to see it settle into the mid to low 6s by the end of the year.
Do you think it's fair to say that we kind of got spoiled with those 2.25s and 3%?
Absolutely. I mean, that was definitely an overreach trying to overcorrect the market. Real estate is a great way to stimulate or slow the market. And right now, the market's getting slowed, like the economy is getting slowed through real estate. So, I mean, we saw massive gains. And in 2020 to now, I mean, we saw 30% appreciation in houses. Yeah. Well, that's awesome, but it can't continue. Otherwise, it's unaffordable, right? And so it has to slow down. And basically, they aim to slow the economy through real estate. Yeah. And so that's why they raised interest rates. So there's a lot of programs, like you can get a 1 year or even 2 year rate buy down, where you can get in that 5 or 6%. There's builders offering 4.99%. And so there's a lot of incentives to get around that, or ways to get around that. But it's important to know that the 10-year average is 6%. And that even takes into account the 2 and 3% that we saw in 2021 and 2022. Yeah. And so that's important. And then right now, average days on market is 81. 81 feels like forever. You know, we're used to 21 when you decide you want to move, and 3 days later, you're packing your bags, right? Because you got 27 days to be out. And that's not the market anymore. It's 81 days on market. The problem with those clients where they sold their home and they were terrified of where am I going to go, because when I go to offer on homes, it's multiple offers. So both markets posed challenges, right? This is more of what we call a balanced market. So 0 to 90 days is a seller's market. 90 to 180 days is a balanced market, and we're at 81. So we're around a balanced market, which means it's not more beneficial for the buyer or more beneficial for the seller. It's kind of in the middle. A little bit still more for the seller. I think the average closing price to original list price is 96%. Okay. So it's not terrible. I mean, now, as long as you're reasonable on your pricing, right? Don't price it 5% above knowing you got to come 4%. There's still comparables. There's still all kinds of things that take effect.
And that was one of the things that you did to help me sell my first house that we sold together.
Yeah, you were overpriced. That lady told you whatever you wanted to hear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to make about $40,000 more than what the house was actually worth. And Jordan's like, well, do you want to live in a fantasy or do you want to sell your home? You tell me, because you're the boss. But
yeah, you own the home, but what would you like to do? And so, we priced you correctly. We got multiple offers, and we got on with the show. So, it's important to understand, like, days on market, like 81 is not the end of the world. It's actually a pretty balanced market. Yeah. That's pretty normal. You don't have anxiety over where am I going to move, where am I going to live. So there's some pros to that market, other than you just got to chill out and wait for the right buyer to come along. Yeah. So that's the big thing with that, and maybe offer some incentives, maybe buy the buyer's rate down a little bit to help incentivize them to buy now as opposed to waiting for 6 months. But there's always, things that we can do and play with to incentivize buyers. A big thing for our team that makes a difference is the way we do open houses. And that's a great factor in getting homes sold.
What's the difference between what y'all do and what others are doing?
So according to the National Association of Realtors, 7% of homes are sold from open houses. According to our data, we sell 15% of our homes at open houses. And I think a lot of it's because we do them. That's one. Actually doing them. Yeah. In fact, our team will hold anywhere from 8 to 10 open houses in a week.
Yeah, I've noticed that because I'm trying to keep a very close eye on you guys, and it does seem like y'all do an absurd amount of open houses.
And honestly, getting pre-approved through a lender feels about like signing up for a colonoscopy. Like, just nobody is real excited to do it, right? Yeah. But it's like if you go to an open house and you find the right home, suddenly you're motivated, right? And so you got to find the right reason. And so we found that buyers will come and tour a home, fall in love with the home, and then be willing to go through the process of getting pre-approved.
They should get pre-approved first.
They should, and yet who wants to do that, right? Yeah. Amazon has spoiled us. We get to look before, we ever tell anybody we're serious. Yeah. Zillow, right? People get to look inside homes, whereas they used to not. The old school way of doing real estate is you called a realtor, you got pre-approved.
Otherwise, you weren't going to see the inside of that house.
Yeah, and then you got to look at pictures online of what was available.
Because no one had the MLS. Nobody could touch that.
Correct. Yeah. And so these external portals changed the game where people were looking at available homes. And what they were priced at and their price reductions.
And thank God those Zillow estimates are always accurate.
Oh, so accurate. Yeah. I hear like the owner of Zillow, his home was valued at like $700,000, but it was like 1.5 million or something like that. And so they were like, all right, put your money where your mouth is. Sell your home for that. Yeah. So Zestimates. How do Zestimates work? I mean, essentially, they basically take an average of a neighborhood. Well, if you live, that's fine. If your home was built 2 years ago, that's fine. All the homes look the same. They're all, as long as you're in a cookie cutter neighborhood, right? But as we go and look at homes in neighborhoods that are older, where some people have completely remodeled, some people have done kind of what we call owner remodels, which is we switched out the countertops and the floors, right? But they didn't gut it. They didn't open up walls. They didn't, completely remodel and make the shower bigger, right? Yeah. Everybody has seen those 1980s showers where you're like, a human fit in that? And so, Zillow takes what is the average of all of those homes. So you have the dilapidated homes that grandma lives in that Brian went to visit. You've got some that are owner remodeled, and then you've got complete flips that they've knocked out walls and opened them up and all of that. And they take the average and give that to you as your estimate. Yeah. So, yeah.
Fun times. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you again for doing this. Thank you to the Davis team for being part of tonight. Italianos, again, thank you very much. That was great.
Delish.
Thank you to our friend Darren Hauk over there who put in a good word for us at Italianos. Where's their card? I wanted to make sure and give them a really solid shout out. They're at 5442 River Oaks Boulevard. We got 8 pizzas from them tonight. Pepperoni, sausage, and cheese. Everybody that had pizza tonight, can I get a show of hands for pepperoni? Who liked the pepperoni the best? Okay, got 1, 2, 3. Pepperoni, 4. Okay, 4 on pepperoni. How about cheese? Who liked the cheese the best? 1, 2, 3. All right.
That's because I was told you couldn't put pineapple on pizza.
Yes, you can. Who said that? All right, and sausage. How about sausage? Anybody for sausage?
Woo!
There we go. All right. Mark Noble likes sausage. All right, so it's a pepperoni clear winner. I did it on purpose. I'm sorry. Well, thank you guys for coming out again. We're going to do this every Tuesday. We've got a great female musician coming out next week, and I'll be posting on that tonight to kind of promote that. And you guys are welcome. There's never a cover charge. We're going to start doing specials out here at McFlys Pub. I'm talking to the bar manager and the owner about doing Fort Worth Roots buys your third drink.
Nice.
Thought that'd be a fun idea.
Yeah.
Not your first, not your second, but your third. So you got to make a little bit of a commitment there.
I like it. I like the outdoor area here. Like, it's a vibe.
The outside patio is legit. And they just dressed up that stage out there. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but that stage out there used to be fairly unusable, and they've reconstructed it, and it looks great. So
we had to keep Eric off the stage. He was trying to sing a solo and everything.
When we get done here, Eric, we're going to go back out there. I'm going to set up the PA for you.
Karaoke.
I'm going to put on My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion,
Hell yeah.
and you're going to belt that one out for us, all right?
Go.
We need some music tonight.
And backup dancers.
Yeah. Oh, did you bring the button?
What?
You got to tell people.
The dance button.
Tell people about your dance button.
We have a dance button that you hit, and it just plays music like super loud for 30 seconds. So everybody within like hearing distance has to bust out in some dance moves.
I was asking Brian after you told me that if you'd ever used it to break up like a verbal confrontation in the office. That would be the best.
Yeah.
2 people are kind of getting into it. It's getting just a little bit uncomfortable, and you just like hit the button.
If 2 people are getting into it in our office, it's about pickleball.
Pickleball?
Yeah, we're obsessed.
Now, does anybody else feel like pickleball just had like this huge resurgence? I'd never heard of pickleball until about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and now it's everywhere.
We have a cup. We have a club.
Yeah.
Yeah, in our
pickleball
neighborhood.
Club.
Yeah, and cups and a name and nicknames. It's a whole. But whole vibe.
Do you also feel like it came out of nowhere 3 years ago?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
This is Fokker. Fokker's the one that told us the story. Giggles is our Celine Dion singer.
These are your nicknames.
I'm Sniper.
Sniper.
My husband is Shits, so there's Shits and Giggles. It's a whole vibe.
Lupe, you got a nickname yet?
Not yet.
No?
She's only come out once. She's coming. Yeah, we got a guy named Maybe or Goldilocks. The weather has to be just right.
That's perfect. Can I get Darren Houck, the River Oaks mayor, up here on the microphone real quick? I mean, come on, you're here. You're our biggest celebrity. Next to next to Mark Nobles. Let's be real. He's written a lot of books.
Are you ready for Fort Worth Roots to buy your third drink?
Mark Nobles is the
yet.
official author of many fiction and nonfiction. Darren is not.
Yeah, correct. But you've got your own your own things that you've done. You're the mayor of River Oaks.
This is true.
And before that, you were the mayor pro tem of River Oaks.
That's right.
What does a
We
day
learned
look
what
like?
a mayor pro tem was on Fort Worth Roots, didn't we?
That's right. Yeah.
What does a day look like as the mayor of River Oaks? What do you do?
Well, so River Oaks is a small community, 7,600 give or take population. One day is nothing. I do my real job. It is not it's a slightly paid position. I think they pay me for my gas more than they do my time. But other days, the phone does not stop ringing.
Yep.
You want to know where there's a pothole in River Oaks?
I was about to say 7,600 people telling you their problems.
They do.
I only have 15, and it keeps me busy.
Right. No, that's what I say. And they think that the mayor is who you should call about a pothole.
Yeah.
We have redone the first lady of River Oaks.
Tanya's here, everybody.
We don't get her out for these kind of things often.
I like it.
But yeah, it's strange, and it can be anything. I'm the guy they call all of a sudden if a tornado was to rip through the city and they need somebody to come explain why.
Okay.
But for the most part, we're pretty calm. We weren't always. We've accomplished a lot in River Oaks. We've got a lot of cool businesses that have come in, and we're having. You guys know about gentrification. Mm-hmm. So for every house that gets knocked down and a beautiful, expensive, tax-paying home comes in, you've got other people not happy about that. We have a lot of that going on.
Do y'all have a historic area that cannot be knocked down?
No.
Okay. So a lot of gentrification.
We have a lot of nice. We were very diversified for such a small area. We have some. We have an area that has, $1 million+ homes.
That's Dawn's price range. Dawn only works luxury. If it's not $3 million, she's out.
Come to River Oaks.
She's your gal.
We have quite a few that I don't know what their price range are. That are the more majestic, old homes that have been there for decades and decades.
Sitting on 3 acres.
Yeah, we have that. We have quite
a
few houses that have some acreage in there, and but kind of forgot where I was going.
Well, you're doing great, and before you run off, we do want to ask you about the River Oaks Springfest Car Show.
Oh,
we're into our 4th year this year. We usually average about 300 cars. We have 100. We cut it off, I should say, at 100 pop-up vendors, and we sell that out. The Castleberry ISD participates, so we have some entertainment in the morning, usually by the award-winning mariachi band, and
they were incredible
got
last
a really
year.
cool jazz band that I'm amazed that they're high schoolers every time I hear them. So they participate a lot. We have some paid entertainment, usually later in the afternoon, classic rock, blues. We've had some well-known guys and some not so well-known, but...
Used to be well-known? There's some of those, too?
Do what? Used to be?
Used to be well-known.
That's me. I used to be well-known.
Tell us about the cars, man. Tell us about the cars.
Everything. We have our first year, the best of show was about a 1949 Lincoln that was a barn find, as they say. This truly was a car that somebody found in a barn with 3 inches of dust on it. They cleaned it all up. Every original interior, original exterior, everything just outstanding.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would say day in, day out. Most of our cars are muscle cars from the 60s and 70s that have been restored, usually or they keep the basic body lines, but we've got newer drivetrain and all that in them.
I saw
A
something.
lot of six-figure cars.
I think it was
Wow.
last year. I saw some just monstrosity. It was like half car, half motorcycle. Do you remember that one? It's okay if you don't, but I saw it and it was crazy. And there are some pretty wild entries.
Like a slingshot?
No.
Oh.
No, like a Harley Davidson motorcycle front end with a car for an ass. It was really weird.
Well,
It was crazy.
Let me turn this around. You and I met Fort Worth Roots.
Year one.
Andrew and myself met year one. Great relationship.
It's
ever
our
since.
friendiversary.
So he hired you the first time, is what I'm hearing?
No. No, there was a partnership.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm the only one that got rejected the first time. Got it.
Yeah, so Fort Worth Roots was ready to kind of spread its wings and stop just doing recordings from a kitchen table. So we reached out to the coolest event that we found on Facebook events, and it was the River Oaks Springfest Car Show.
Nice.
And I got connected with Mayor Pro Tem Darren Houck, and I
right.
thought, man, this is so cool. We've already made it.
It
the
really
Fort
was
Worth Roots
cool.
podcast has already made it.
You know, at the ground floor of a really cool thing that exploded. I would say it's a little bit like Mayfest with cool cars.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, that's accurate.
We've got zip lines and things like that.
Oh,
other people
okay.
Don't have.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is one of the most exciting vehicles that I've ever seen was at that first event. What would you think would be the best car?
I got to be honest with you, man. Every single one of the River Oaks Springfest car shows that I've been to, we have just been recording and playing music and interacting with the public. And one of the things that I hate is that I do not get to go and peruse all the cars. Now, I will sneak away and I'll take videos real quick just so I can use it later on social media.
Content.
Yeah, everything is content.
I wasn't trying to stump the host.
Oh,
but
you did. I don't know.
Wienermobile.
Oh, yes,
We had
yes.
the
That was year one,
Wienermobile.
right?
Year one, I believe, yes. And
Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Andrew did a great interview with the
Hot doggers?
hot doggers. That's
Yeah.
right.
The girls
whole
that
life.
intern.
Oh.
They're all college students, and they get an internship, and they drive the country. They go on a tour with their Wienermobile, and it is the most hilarious thing. And they've got a pun for everything. Everything's
That's
a
right.
wiener joke.
The
It's
masters
so good.
of puns.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Everything is something having to do with hot dog.
Yeah,
The,
yeah.
Anyway,
So.
but we have a great time, and we really do appreciate our friendship with Fort Worth Roots. It's one of
Same.
the best things that ever happened to us, and I think the timing was just perfect. I think you were fairly new then, and we definitely were, and we have exploded and excited for it. So this year we have some of the same things going on, but we have you got my cheat sheet
April
here?
19th.
Okay,
and
there we
I
go.
do not have one right here in front of me.
I got a lot of things going on right now with the book. and
That's all right.
that,
But we're going to cover this more on the
lot of
Fort Worth
potholes.
Roots podcast. You guys can follow us on social media, but you can also find on Facebook River Oaks Springfest Car Show, right?
.com.
.com.
Yep.
Okay,
and
so that's not Facebook.
and
but-
space. That's all right, both.
So
but
we'll
we
keep
are
you
going to
up
go
to
back to Grumps again this year. We have a police escorted cruise.
Now, that's the day before. That's going to be on the April 18th.
on Friday. That's right. So
And that's really cool.
Good Friday.
'Cause
So,
you-
good
you-
or bad.
you really
we-
get
Oh,
to
it's
s-
Good Friday. It's Easter weekend.
That's right. So
Right.
we're on Good Friday this year. We have one of the things about a small town like River Oaks. Before I was mayor, I will say, wasn't pulling too many strings. We have a police escorted cruise. The police take all these classic cars through some of the cool streets of River Oaks, some of the majestic homes I was talking about, and we drive through the city and come back to Grumps Burgers, where we start and end, and they're our major sponsor. In fact, the first year they had been scheduled to open. This is their 7th location. We struck a deal, and they didn't quite get it open. So the first year, we actually had the car show before they were even open.
And
had
they serve
had
freebies
their
out of a
truck out
food
there,
truck.
gave food to
Yeah,
everybody.
it was cool.
a huge success. But that's something most people can't pull off anymore. I did it 40 years ago with other car shows in other cities, but it's hard to make that happen. But River Oaks Police Department do make it possible here. So we do that on Friday night, which is kind of a good welcome. Some of the people come from farther away to join us.
What's really cool about that is I don't know that you'd get the same reaction in every small town or city, but 90% of the homes that convoy goes past, there are families standing out there, kids cheering, and everybody's just having a good time. There's a lawn chair in every front yard. I mean, everybody comes out to see this production.
They enjoy
it's really
it.
cool.
That's right, absolutely. And
all right. Tell us one more thing before you get out of here.
Okay. One more thing, and I'll get out of here. He has to push me away.
We're out of time. We're 15 minutes past.
Well, we've enjoyed it very much.
Me too, and thank you for your friendship. I could not have done this without you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Enjoyed you very much.
Nice to
We'd
meet
like
you.
to get you on the show. Can we do one of these with you and maybe Mark?
And whenever you want, we do that too many times already.
I'll contact your assistant and I'll get it on the schedule.
That's right. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of River Oaks.
Thank you all.
All right. Now, anything from the Davis team before we close this out tonight?
Follow us at Your Davis team. Oh,
come on over here.
Your
Come on.
Davis team, Instagram, Facebook. Give us a follow. Lupe's our marketing director. She's always pushing the marketing.
Lupe's my main contact at the Davis team. Pull that down just a little bit so we can hear
you want to follow us because every Tuesday we ask a question of the day.
Yes.
And you
Today's
get to
question is, what did you do during Dalaska? Which I didn't know. A lot of people didn't know what that meant, but it's
when Dallas turned to Alaska.
Yeah.
Because we had the snow.
Is there
it's
a Fort
not
Worth?
Stormageddon anymore. It's Dalaska.
Is there a Fort Worth version of that?
No, not that
Fort
I know
Waska? I don't know.
Waska.
Fort Worth-aska.
That sounds like a cuss word.
How about Cowtasca?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know. We'll work on it.
Catastrophe. I mean, all schools were canceled, all of that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
For how much snow?
Yeah.
So I'm just a little bit north, as you know, and we got 5 inches. So I know the storm system was a little more north of DFW, so I think we got a little bit more.
I messaged the team on Thursday. I was really, really upset because I was told we were going to get quite a bit of snow, and everybody had snow. I'm in Mansfield, got nothing.
Oh, really?
I saw my family in Mexico, got a winter wonderland.
Oh, no.
And I got nothing. So
I'm sorry.
I was pretty sad. I was just looking out the window.
Someday when Lupe shows up at work, we're going to have a snow machine out there to help her.
And I will cry. I've been waiting for years.
Oh, we just need to take you somewhere snowy.
Seriously.
That's what we need to do. We need to, y'all, now that's one thing we didn't talk about, the Davis team. You guys do something at least annually or biannually for everybody that's used you guys to sell and buy homes?
Yeah, we do. We actually had our client events group that met this week to talk about what events we want to do for our past clients. So we just love to stay in community with people that we've done business with. So last year we rented out the zoo, the Dallas Zoo, after hours, and we hosted everybody for a private event where the zoo was closed but stayed open for us. You got to hand feed giraffes, and it was super cool. They had demos from the crew that works with animals and stuff like that. We have pictures with Santa Claus. Where you don't have to wait in line. You don't have kids that are just exhausted and mad. We've got, what else do we do?
We're talking about the Rangers game.
Yep, we have the Rangers game. Yep, we rent out a section of the stadium. Is that what a baseball thing is called?
Sure,
Go Sports. And so, and we feed them, and that's fun.
There's a buffet.
Yep,
it's great.
Yep, and what else do we do? There's one other Rangers, Santa, zoo, and we talked about renting out a movie theater. So we're looking at...
We're exploring options.
We're exploring options with Dragon, How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, How to Train
When that comes out, getting a preview before it ever comes out. And
Nice.
maybe having people dressed up and stuff like that.
That would be cool.
The kids love that. I would be the mother of the year for my child.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with dragons.
Okay. Well, that's what we got to do then.
Yeah, he has a shirt that was be yourself unless you can be a dragon, then be a dragon. So Aiden would be enthralled. But Lupe came up here to tell y'all to follow us on social media. So Your Davis Team.
Yes. Instagram, at Your Davis Team. Facebook, just search up the Davis Team.
The stuff
We're
that I
there.
don't allow her to put on Instagram, she puts on TikTok.
Which might be getting banned, so.
We're not talking about it.
Who knows? Follow
Everybody's
us there.
talking
You
about
never
it.
know.
I don't think it's going away. Put me on the record.
The
I
stuff
don't think
that
it's
I
going away.
nix and say is inappropriate for Instagram and Facebook, she puts on TikTok. So
Yeah,
you definitely
that's the
want to be
move.
on there.
That's the move.
Yep.
And find us on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube for some home tours.
Your
and all
Davis
that.
team?
At Your Davis Team, yes.
Cool. And of course, anytime they tag us, we share it at Fort Worth Roots on all platforms and TikTok because it's still going to be there, I promise.
Yeah, just set that into reality.
All right, declare your intentions. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for coming out to this Tuesday night. We're going to do it next week. We're going to have another guest. Stay tuned. Fort Worth Roots on Instagram if you want to get details for that, but it'll be happening next week right here, 5 o'clock to 7. And then, of course, we are followed by Tommy Luke and Dippy Dog for the Tuesday night open mic. And if I forgot anything, apologies, but we'll cover it in the intro or the outro.
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. All right. All right. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you to the Davis team. Thank you guys for hanging out, having a good time, and enjoying the Tuesday live podcast recording, live audience record. I need a good name for this. You guys help me out. It was a lot of fun. It was. I was excited because we got to start early this week. Usually we're going to do these from 5 to 7. Yesterday we did it from 4 to 6. So I was telling Megan, I was like, oh, it's cool. I'm going to be out of here early. I'm going to get some extra sleep. And it did not play out like that because we were having such a good time. I didn't roll out of there until almost 8 o'clock. Great group of people. We, of course, I listed off a bunch of the people that were in the crowd, and they all had a great time. And then even after the recording and all the production stuff was done, we still had people showing up. So thank you guys for coming out. I really, if you've met me, if you've seen the things that we've been doing with Fort Worth Roots, you know I'm always trying to get you out of the house. And Tuesdays at McFlys, I would love to have you put that on your schedule and come on out. We gave away a cash prize last night to our buddy Robert, who won the ticket pool for the night. But we got the spinny thing. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick that I do for you. So I'm bribing you with pizza and cash, and what else do you want from me? Anyway, come out and have fun. Kendi Jean next week, and I'm looking at everything she's been doing. Damn it, it's a lot. She's very busy, and being recognized for it. So looking forward to that conversation. Looking forward to hearing her play on stage out there at McFlys. This is going to be really fun. So you guys hit me up. We got a little bit of time to plan. I think I told you guys last week, we've got a little bit of a marketing budget for this. So if marketing budget means you want me to buy you pizza, we can do that. I know of a place. So whatever. Hit me up. Let me know you're coming. RSVP. And get ready for some Kendi Jean. It's going to be fun. And then the following week after that, we're going to give McGrath Project another shot. They were supposed to be our inaugural first group out there to do a album release party for the live podcast recording, and they all got sick. They couldn't make it. So we got Jeff Zero to fill in, and it was great. But we are looking forward to getting to actually meet the folks at the McGrath Project. Looks like a pretty cool group of guys and gals. So cool. All right, every Tuesday at McFlys. Moving on, let me tell you about these sponsors real quick. Hoppin', of course, where we do our morning show. The morning show is something that we do to get you up to date with things that are happening in your area. It's supposed to be a 20 to 30 minute long episode. They do go long, and I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard to keep that thing at very least under 30 minutes. We don't do the whole intro outro thing though, and that cuts down on a bunch of time. Like you're just getting the meat of the episode. So that's good. But yeah, 20, 30 minutes just to get you up to date, and it's on the same It's all the same as where you're listening to this one. Like we didn't divide it up. So you just go to fortworthroots.com and look at the catalog. It's all in the same place. Or on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you want to get it. All right, Hoppin'. That's where we do the morning show. Hoppin' is an excellent location for your next event. Check their Instagram for fresh events every week. Located at 2616 Weisenberger, Fort Worth, Texas 76107. Their Instagram is Hoppin' FWTX. The Davis team, everything real estate all in one place. YourDavisTeam.com. Their phone number is 817-755-0504. Galaxy Wilderness Disc Golf, parties, events, retreats, reunions, and team building, and fundraisers, whatever it is, they can help you out. My buddy Joe will come on out to whatever location you got. He will set up a full disc golf course. They've also got glow-in-the-dark baskets and putters and drivers and all that. So you can do it at night too, which, I mean, as long as it's fairly even terrain with no holes to fall in, that sounds like a fun idea. Fort Worth Float Company, let your float obsession begin. FortWorthFloatCompany.com, located at 5934 River Oaks Boulevard. They are getting some new equipment, and I'm going out there next Monday, and we're going to start a video series out there, and I'm going to be subjected to some real shit. I'm not looking forward to it. But it's for health and for social media content, so it's going to be great. It is a great place to relax. It is a great place to take care of your mental and physical health. So anyway, check it out. If you've never done the float tanks before, it's pretty cool, and it's the only way to experience less gravity on your body without leaving atmosphere. So Boulevard Brew is a great place to get your hold on, back it up. Fort Worth Float on Instagram is FW Float Company. Boulevard Brew is a great place to get your coffee fix. Enjoy live music on a Friday night or throw your event here. Located at 5406 River Oaks Boulevard, River Oaks, Texas. We got a lot of River Oaks people on here, don't we? Did you just notice that? Anyway, I love Boulevard Brew. I call it the mullet. Business in the front, party in the back. They've got a coffee bar up front, and then in the back, which is a lounge area, and you can use it anytime you want. I go in there on Sundays, and I knock out like 2 really solid hours of work. No distractions, great Wi-Fi connection, plenty of room to, kind of do your thing, work, and the room could fill up, and you're not going to get bugged. So, but there's also in the back a little area for bands to set up. They've got some beers on tap, wine, and it's a cool spot. Call it the mullet. Business in the front, party in the back. Boulevard Brew. Check them out on Instagram at Boulevard Brew. The Body Scrubbery. Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Located at 519 Pennsylvania Avenue, Fort Worth, Texas, 76104. I am going to be putting out some information today about the dating game. The Fort Worth dating game, that is. If you ever saw that back like 1977, I think is when that thing got started. But it's super cringy, if you ask me. It's awful. You have a contestant and ask them questions, and they get to ask the suitors or the other contestants questions without seeing their faces or knowing really much about them at all. And then they got to pick one of the 3 contestants. So it's cringy, and I love it. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it here at Hoppin' on February 14th, and I'll be putting out those details. It's going to be cool because we have teamed up with a local singles group, and they are going to bring their entire singles group to this thing before the show. So it's going to be a singles event, fall in love, meet somebody, meet that Mrs. You or Mr. You or however that works. What am I talking about? Anyway, just come meet people. It's going to be cool. And then the dating show. So February 14th out here at Hoppin', and more details to follow. Check out our Instagram page or the Body Scrubbery's Instagram page, because they're the ones putting this thing on, at the Body Scrubbery on Instagram. And if you'd like to be a contestant, you can get me to handle that for you. You put in the subject line for the email LOVE, and then you just put your name and say, hey, I want to be a contestant, and then I'll send you the form. So email me at media@fortworthroots.com, subject line LOVE, and then say, hey, I want to be on the show, and we'll get you signed up for the dating show. We've got some questions that you got to fill out, and full liability waiver saying, hey, if you introduce me to somebody and they turn into a serial killer, that it's not our fault. You got to make adult decisions here. All right, McFlys Pub is a 1980s Back to the Future themed bar with an incredible outdoor area, 2 stages for live music. Located at 6104 LTJG Barnett Road, Fort Worth, Texas, 76114. And if you are interested in being the spotlight on our Tuesdays out at McFlys, let me know. What we would love to do is anybody that's got some interesting stuff going on, that's cool. But we really want to do album release parties. That's what I've been pushing hard for. because it's entertaining, it's fun, and you've got something to promote. I've got something to promote. It just works. So if you do have a single coming out, an album, whatever, and you think you can get 10 people in the room, I mean, we're trying to help these places out. McFly's Pub, if you think your idea will draw 10 to 20 people, then hit me up and let's do it. What the Davis team did is they just brought all of their agents with them all at once, and we got to hang out, do the thing, and everybody's happy. There's pizza, there's drinks, and we're helping each other promote. So it's a fun thing. There's a point to it, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to get together and have a good time. So let me know. Hit me up at media@fortworthroots.com, but don't put love in the subject line unless you want to be the contestant on our next dating game. Commercial and Residential, the most highly rated roofing company in the DFW. If you have a roofing need, then look no further. Mention this ad and get 50% off a roofing tune-up. Of course, I'm talking about Roofing Solutions by Darren Houck, and you can get them online, roofingsolutionsHouck.com, or on the phone at 817-882-6520. Our buddy over there at EDS, Mr. Richard Eaton. Online data theft is more common now than ever before. Cyber criminals are now attacking small businesses. Let Eaton Data Solutions show you where your team is vulnerable. Schedule your consultation today. EatonDataSolutions.com. And we've been talking about that for a while. I have not seen Richard in a really long time, and we need to get him on the show. So, Richard, if you're listening, please holler at me. You got my phone number, dude. Woodpost Metalworks. Woodpost Metalworks is ready to build a custom high-quality plasma-cut steel sign for your home or business. They are the ones that put the Fort Worth Roots podcast sign together on our studio located over there off of Yale in River Oaks. Darren got on to me last night. You guys hear me talking about Darren. He's not just the roofing solutions guy. He's the mayor of River Oaks. And he told me last night, your studio's not in Fort Worth. It's in River Oaks. And I was like, throw a rock. But he's right. You're right, Darren. You're right. You got me there, friend. Anyway, that's where you can see the sign that Woodpost Metalworks made. And it's really bitchin'. It's a really nice sign. High quality, and it's been subjected to the Texas summers, all the weather, and it looks like it came right out the box. Like, they did such a good job on this thing. You can find them at woodpostmetalworks.com. And if you'll put offer code podcast817 in at checkout, it saves 10%. It's not just the custom stuff they do. They've also got other stuff that you can buy, custom grills and all sorts of metalwork stuff. You check it out. woodpostmetalworks.com. Houck Walker Originals. If a laser engraver can cut it, then they can customize it. Tons of great gift ideas and more. They do wooden bowls and pins and all sorts of cool stuff. And the reason that these guys are on here, the reason we talk about them, is because it's another great way for you to spend your money locally for gift ideas. So if you want something original that nobody else has got, here's another one that you should check out, houckwalker.com. And then, if you need stuff customized in a special kind of way, they can do that for you. We've got those Fort Worth Roots tumblers that everybody loves, and they are the ones that cut those for us, and they look great. I drink out of one every day, except for whenever I lose it in the floorboard of the car and I have to grab for a more generic coffee mug. Website design, hosting, e-commerce, integration, digital strategy, and consulting. Find them online at purplewebconsulting.com. And yes, I read that backwards. Our newest sponsor, Purple Web Consulting. Their phone number is 817-629-6069. Okay, that's all our sponsors. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to have this thing filled up before we pull the trigger March 1st and start cutting banners. We've got a lot of big, crazy goals, and none that I can talk about right now because I just don't have the power to come close to starting the journey towards these goals. Like, we've got a long ways to go. But one thing I can tell you, because we tried it out last year and it worked, we are going to put 3 bands on stage every month, March through October, with your help. And the reason we're doing 3 bands at one time, we did it a few different ways last year. We Usually we only had one band on stage. But the more bands we put on stage, the more people show up. And whenever we do this, we're trying our hardest to make sure that we're doing this at local venues and that whenever we do this, it helps a small business. It's getting hard to do that. It's getting hard to get out there and find places that, one, are still open, two, share our vision for what we want the Fort Worth music community to look like, which is active, you know. But we're trying real hard. And right now, it's looking like I'm going to have to get really creative, meaning we might have to deviate from our goal of throwing these events at local businesses. So anyway, we're working on it. I could use some help. I'm always open to advice, suggestions, contact numbers. But if you have a venue around town and you're interested in working with us for this music series, please contact me. Phone number is 817-988-1292. All the information that we covered in today's episode is going to be in the show notes, sponsors, my contact info, whatever. Okay, so we got through all of that. I've just been asking you to do things for the past 15 minutes. Let me just tell you this. I appreciate you so much listening to these episodes. If you've ever shared a post, if you've ever come to an event, thank you. Fort Worth Roots is very important to me, obviously. I've been grinding away at this for 5 years now. And back in just before October, I stepped away from the regular 9 to 5, and I tackled Fort Worth Roots head on. And it's been a struggle, dude. But we're making it happen. And I can't do it without you. And that's the point. That's all I'm trying to say is thank you. I am so grateful for you and for everybody else that has made this dream a reality. It ain't easy, pimp, but we're making it work. So, and man, we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. And Tuesdays at McFlys, it's all about you, me, and a podcast. And maybe some pizza, but you'll have to let me know. All right. I feel like I totally forgot about something. One more time for Italianos, thank you guys for hooking us up with that deal yesterday, and everybody loved your pizza. Okay, check them out, 5442 River Oaks Boulevard. A lot of stuff going on that River Oaks Boulevard. All right, that's it. Morning episode. Tomorrow, we're going to have Michelle on the show from the Body Scrubbery, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about that dating show. We're really excited about that. I'm going to dress up in a retro, goofy outfit, and we're going to make a whole deal out of it. Hope you can make it February 14th at Hoppin'. All right. Until tomorrow. See you.